Well, I guess I'm gonna talk about something that disturbs me every day. Take a look at the pictures in the end of this article. She is the one wearing the black t-shirt in the first one, name's Diksha Bharadwaj. She was a lively soul, full of energy and love. She went to Miranda House, a dreamy prestigious college, and got her degrees. Till last year, she was the communications and digital head at HDFC Realty Limited, Mumbai. A foodie by heart, there was no restaurant she wouldn't have had visited in Mumbai. She was originally from Haryana. Coming from a conservative family, it was difficult for her to make decisions of moving out of her city and achieving her dreams. But she went against all odds for her dreams. She committed suicide in July of 2018. Yes, you heard it right, suicide. The cheerful, bubbly 30-year-old who used to do cartwheels on Shakira's songs, lived her life to the fullest. Somebody who was always there when you needed her, was full of nothing but love for all, ended her own life. Just a few days before she took this drastic step, she was at her boyfriend's house with him and his parents in Lucknow. They were all happy. There were talks of marriage. There was laughter, there was excitement. Everything was perfect. When she traveled back to Mumbai, she committed suicide. She had left some of her clothes and belongings at his house as if she knew what she was going to do with herself. A day later, the news reached his boyfriend through her roommate that Diksha, nicknamed Dwarbaj, had committed suicide. The Mumbai police came and, simply calling it a case of suicide, closed it. The boyfriend and his dad traveled to look at Dwarbaj for the last time. She was cold in death, lying peacefully, devoid of all the torture she had to go through because of someone that was unknown. Can you imagine the agony of the boyfriend who has had a 12-year-long relationship with her? Can you imagine the pain and fury of the parents that lost their child forever? Nobody knew what happened until her phone was checked. A man, Ganesh Lore, the CEO of Biztar Infotech Private Limited, was called several times by Diksha just before she committed. There were calls from 12:30 to 4 where they merely spoke 4 times. In that period, after every 2 minutes, there was a call from Diksha which Ganesh never picked. At 4:30 Diksha committed suicide. There are questions that are left unanswered. He knew why she did it, and maybe he was involved. Maybe a case of blackmailing. Maybe he was blackmailing her or torturing her in some way that she took her life. The case was closed eventually because of lack of evidence. Ganesh Lore is free, living his life. Diksha's suicide still remains a question for her family and friends. It kills to imagine what happened that she suddenly chose to take such an extreme step. All her closed ones want is a closure and an answer to the question of why she did that. But Ganesh Lore remains silent. Her family, her fiancé, everyone is suffering. All we want is an answer. Agreed that suicide is a choice, but is it something you wanna do or something that engulfs you when you have no way out of an issue? She did not deserve this. She did not deserve to die like that. Nobody deserves that. The least the dead could be given is justice, and that's not something that any authority has a power upon. But the police closed the case. And there's no further investigation, no more justice. Blackmailing is an offense. Ganesh Lore needs to be punished at least for that. But the case is closed. The boyfriend and his father even contacted the commissioner, but nothing happened. The police were stubborn and had no interest in taking this case any further, and they closed it. We are helpless. She at least deserves for her story to be heard, and that is all I could do.